Are you perpetually caught in the cycle of the almost? That thrilling beginning, the spark of an idea, the surge of motivation that compels you to embark on a new venture, to begin a rigorous fitness regimen, to commit to a significant personal or professional project. You feel the momentum, the intoxicating promise of transformation and achievement. Yet, with a quiet, insidious certainty, day after day, week after week, that initial fervor, that potent determination, inexplicably begins to wane. It is a slow, gradual erosion, until the inevitable fade sets in. The gym membership card gathers dust in your wallet, the half-written manuscript languishes on your desk, the grand, inspiring plans once meticulously etched into your whiteboard become obscured by the relentless tide of daily routine, mounting procrastination, and forgotten priorities. Then comes the sharp internal sting of the nagging voice of regret. Why again? Why do I always fall short? Am I truly incapable of sustained effort? Is this my inherent limitation? Consider this. Are you truly destined to repeat this pattern, a perpetual cycle of starting anew, only to find yourself back where you began, forever falling short of the very aspirations that ignite your spirit and define your deepest desires? This self-doubt, this recurring narrative of unfulfilled potential, erodes more than just your projects. It erodes your very belief in yourself. Many believe discipline is a relentless struggle, an arduous, never-ending battle of sheer brute force against your own inherent inclinations, against the seductive comfort of established habits, against the immediate, powerful allure of instant gratification. They imagine it as a constant act of self-denial, a painful, grueling imposition of will over an unwilling, resistant self. This common understanding, however, is precisely why so many falter, why so many dreams remain perpetually out of reach. When discipline is framed as a never-ending conflict, a constant internal war, it becomes not only exhausting, but utterly unsustainable. It pits one part of your mind against another, creating a debilitating internal dissonance, a fundamental conflict that ultimately drains your mental and emotional reserves, leading inevitably to capitulation and the disheartening return to old patterns. This perception is not merely flawed, it is a profound and damaging misunderstanding of how the human mind truly operates, and why individuals of extraordinary achievement appear to possess an inexhaustible wellspring of sustained action, seemingly effortless in their consistent application of effort. What if this perception, this weary, self-defeating narrative of struggle and perpetual internal conflict, is fundamentally inaccurate? What if there is an entirely different path to consistent action, a method that transcends the fickle, unreliable nature of mere brute willpower? I discovered through decades of meticulous study and unwavering observation of the most successful individuals of my time, those who built empires, shaped industries, and left indelible marks on the world, that true, unbreakable discipline is not about struggle at all. It is, in fact, a strategic inevitability, a profound mastery over the very architecture of your will. Think deeply on that phrase. Strategic inevitability. It implies a precise design, a sophisticated methodology, an arrangement of mental and environmental factors so potent and interconnected that the desired outcome becomes not merely a hopeful possibility, but an almost foregone conclusion. Success becomes built into the very fabric of your mental approach, engineered into your daily existence. This is not about forcing yourself through gritted teeth, pushing against internal resistance with sheer, agonizing effort. It is about understanding the unseen levers of the mind, the fundamental principles that govern human action and motivation at their deepest, most subconscious levels. It is about constructing an intricate environment, both internal and external, where disciplined action becomes not a burden or a fight, but the natural, even effortless choice. It is about engineering your internal landscape so that consistency is no longer a monumental effort, a constant drain on your vitality, but a logical and undeniable extension of your deepest, most burning intentions. It becomes the path of least resistance because the alternative is simply unthinkable to your newly programmed mind. This insight changes everything you thought you knew about personal achievement. We are not here to discuss mere willpower, that notoriously fleeting and unreliable resource so many mistakenly rely upon. We are here to uncover a deeper, more profound blueprint, a meticulously crafted framework for compelling yourself to stay on track, not through painful effort or punitive self-talk, but through understanding and rigorously applying the deeper mechanisms of success that were once the closely guarded secrets of the world's most accomplished individuals. This is about systematically reshaping your internal dialogue, reorienting your deepest convictions, and aligning your daily actions with a purpose so powerful, so compelling, that every step forward feels less like a chore and more like an unstoppable force of nature. It's about building a mental fortress where procrastination, doubt, and distraction simply cannot penetrate, where your goals are not just imagined, but are mentally secured. Reflect upon this. What would it truly mean for your life, for your grandest aspirations, for your very sense of self, if discipline became your constant, unwavering companion, not a fleeting, unreliable visitor? This journey, this exploration, is about making that extraordinary reality your own. You now understand that discipline is not a mere struggle against your own nature, but a strategic inevitability. Yet why do so many, armed with the best intentions and even a nascent understanding of their goals, still find themselves adrift, unable to maintain consistent action? The answer lies not in their lack of desire, but in a far more subtle and pervasive trap, the invisible prison of indecision. This prison, unlike walls of stone, is built from the intangible yet potent elements of uncertainty and vagueness. Its bars are forged from the very ambiguity that plagues so many aspiring individuals, holding them captive in a state of perpetual inaction, a mental quagmire where progress is suffocated before it can even truly begin. It is a condition more insidious than outright failure, for it keeps hope alive just enough to perpetuate inaction rather than compel the decisive shift necessary for liberation. Consider the foundational principle I often articulated. A definite purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Reflect on the profound implications of this statement. What does it truly mean to possess a definite purpose? It means clarity, precision, an unwavering target that occupies the very core of your mental landscape. Yet, how many among you can honestly claim such a definitive aim? Many mistake a vague wish, a generalized desire for improvement, or a nebulous hope for a better future as a definite purpose. They say, "I want to be successful," or "I wish to be financially free," or "I hope to achieve great things." While these sentiments carry an emotional resonance, they utterly lack the specificity, the precise coordinates that the subconscious mind requires to initiate and sustain purposeful action. Your subconscious mind, that powerful engine of your being, cannot act upon ambiguous commands. It is not designed to interpret vague aspirations or translate fuzzy intentions into concrete steps. It is like a master craftsman awaiting precise blueprints, not a general suggestion for something nice. Imagine trying to hit a target you cannot see. Your efforts, no matter how earnest or energetic, will be scattered, without direction, devoid of any real impact. You might expend tremendous energy, pull the bowstring with immense force, but without a visible target, without a single undeniable point of focus, your arrow will inevitably fly aimlessly into the void. Or consider steering a ship without a defined destination. The vessel might be magnificently constructed, equipped with powerful engines and a skilled crew, but without a course set, without a chart to guide it towards a specific harbor, it will merely drift, buffeted by every changing current and fleeting breeze. It will consume fuel, wear down its parts, and inevitably run aground or be lost at sea, not for lack of potential, but for want of a definite, unyielding destination. This is precisely the fate of individuals who possess ambition but lack a definite chief aim. Their energy is dissipated, their efforts are fragmented, and their inherent potential remains tragically unrealized, not because they are incapable, but because they have failed to provide their own internal guidance system with the clear, unequivocal instructions it demands for forward momentum. The cost of this vagueness is not merely lost time, it is the erosion of self-belief, the decay of potential, and the perpetual deferment of the very life you envision for yourself. This brings us to the second, equally damaging facet of the invisible prison, the energy drain of the should-do. How many tasks on your daily list are dictated by an internal voice that whispers, "You should do this," rather than a powerful, self-evident, "I must do this," that springs from a deep, undeniable wellspring of desire? The internal conflict created by pursuing tasks not aligned with a burning desire is immense, yet often unrecognized. When your actions are driven by obligation, by external pressures, by a vague sense of what you ought to be doing, rather than an intense, personal conviction, your enthusiasm is quickly depleted. This is not laziness, as many mistakenly label it. It is a profound lack of internal fuel. Laziness is a symptom, not the root cause. The true impediment is the absence of a burning desire, a definite chief aim so compelling, so intrinsically motivating, that the action required to achieve it feels less like work and more like an urgent, exhilarating pursuit. Without this deep-seated, passionate intent, every task becomes a minor battle. Every step forward requires an exorbitant amount of mental effort, a constant internal negotiation that slowly but surely drains your spiritual and intellectual reserves. You find yourself easily distracted, prone to procrastination, susceptible to every fleeting temptation, not because you lack discipline, but because the foundational reason for the discipline is missing. The absence of a definite chief aim, of that singular consuming purpose, leaves you psychologically vulnerable, like a ship without an anchor in a raging storm, tossed about by every external influence. You become a victim of circumstances, rather than the master of your own destiny, because you have not equipped your inner self with the powerful magnetic force of a clearly defined, passionately desired goal. The price of this internal misalignment is not merely stalled progress. It is a pervasive sense of discontent, a quiet desperation that gnaws at the edges of your existence, leaving you forever chasing external validations or momentary distractions, rather than building the enduring edifice of your own authentic success. To break free from this invisible prison, therefore, you must first acknowledge its existence and then systematically dismantle the ambiguity that holds you captive. You have now grasped the profound impediment that is the invisible prison of indecision, understanding how vague ambition and the should-do mentality drain your vitality. To dismantle that prison, to cut through the ambiguity that binds you, requires a master key, a tool of unparalleled power, one that I have presented to countless individuals on their path to greatness: the definite chief aim. This is not merely a goal. It is a blueprint for the unwavering purpose that will redefine your existence. Consider it deeply. My studies revealed that true achievement commences only when an individual possesses a definite purpose, a singular, all-consuming objective toward which every thought, every action, every waking moment is directed. This definite chief aim acts as a magnetic north for your entire being. It is an emotionally charged lodestone that, once firmly established in your consciousness, begins to exert an almost mystical pull. Your actions, which once felt fragmented and directionless, will now align themselves, compelled by an invisible force, toward this central point. Your thoughts, previously scattered by every passing distraction, will coalesce and focus, forming a formidable mental current flowing toward your desired outcome. Even external opportunities, seemingly disparate events and individuals, will begin to arrange themselves in synchronicity, drawn into the powerful orbit of your unwavering intent. It is a psychological principle of such potency that it transforms wishful thinking into an irresistible force of manifestation. To possess a definite chief aim is to hold a clear, precise image of your desired future, so vivid, so imbued with emotion, that it transcends mere intellectual understanding. It is insufficient to merely write down your objective. That is but the first, rudimentary step. The true power lies in internalizing it, in feeling it with every fiber of your being, in seeing it with the clarity of present reality, in living it as though it has already materialized. This is the difference between a casual traveler reading a map and a determined explorer whose very survival depends on reaching the designated landmark. Your subconscious mind does not differentiate between an intensely imagined experience and a real one. When you consistently feed it the rich sensory experience of your achieved aim, it accepts this as reality and begins to reorganize your entire internal system, your beliefs, your attitudes, your habits, to align with this perceived truth. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, but one carefully and deliberately engineered by your own conscious effort. I urge you now in this very moment to pause. Take 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Do not just think about your ultimate goal. Feel it. What does its achievement look like? What sounds accompany it? What emotions surge through you as you stand victorious? Anchor yourself in that sensation. Let it burn brightly within you, a beacon guiding your mental compass. This is where the concept of forcing yourself truly transforms from a grueling internal battle into an act of profound self-mastery. Once your definite chief aim is deeply rooted, the next step is to program your inner commander through the powerful principle of autosuggestion. Many believe their thoughts are unruly, fleeting, and beyond their control. Yet, I found that the repetition of positive, goal-oriented thoughts, deliberately and systematically impressed upon the subconscious mind, can override decades of fear, doubt, and deeply ingrained habits of procrastination. This is not some esoteric ritual. It is a fundamental psychological mechanism. Your mind, particularly your subconscious, acts on the dominant thoughts you feed it. If those thoughts are of limitation, fear, or uncertainty, it will manifest those realities. If they are of purpose, belief, and inevitable success, it will likewise manifest those. Autosuggestion, then, is a form of self-hypnosis for success. You are deliberately planting the seeds of your desired reality into the fertile soil of your subconscious, cultivating a mental environment where discipline is not a struggle, but a natural outflow of your deepest convictions. Through persistent autosuggestion, discipline ceases to be an external demand placed upon an unwilling spirit. Instead, it becomes an internal command, an undeniable imperative emanating from the core of your being. It transforms from a chore you dread to a necessary, even joyous step toward the realization of your cherished aim. Imagine waking each morning with an internal blueprint already guiding your actions, a powerful current effortlessly carrying you toward your objectives. The energy once wasted on internal debate and resistance is now channeled directly into productive action. To harness this, I propose the 3-minute power script. Craft a clear, concise statement of your definite chief aim, describing it in its present achieved state, imbued with emotion. For 3 minutes each morning and each night, recite this script aloud or silently if necessary, focusing intently on the words, feeling their truth, seeing the reality they describe. Let this statement permeate every cell of your being. This consistent, deliberate infusion of positive, goal-aligned thought will reprogram your subconscious, making disciplined action not just possible, but the path of least resistance. It is the bridge from knowing what you want to becoming who you must be to achieve it. You have effectively begun to construct your inner fortress, armed with a definite chief aim and the potent tool of autosuggestion. You understand that true discipline is engineered, not merely willed. Yet, even the most magnificent individual blueprint for success can falter if it exists in isolation. For sustained, accelerated momentum, for an amplification of your individual resolve, you must look beyond the solitary self. This brings us to a force of nature, a principle of collective power that I observe to be indispensable among the truly great, the mastermind momentum, the very echo chamber of excellence that propels achievement to unprecedented heights. Reflect deeply on this concept. No person of extraordinary accomplishment ever truly walks alone. They understand that while individual effort is foundational, the harmonious alliance of minds working toward a definite objective creates a third, invisible, invincible force. A force far greater than the sum of its individual parts. This is the mastermind. It is not merely a group of people. It is a collaborative energy, a synergy of intellects, experiences, and spiritual energies, all focused on a singular purpose. Consider how this impacts discipline. When you surround yourself with individuals who not only support your goals but are actively engaged in pursuing their own ambitious objectives, an electric current passes between you. Their drive fuels yours. Their insights illuminate your path. Discipline, which can feel like a lonely internal battle when faced in solitude, transforms into a shared journey, fortified by mutual commitment and collective ambition. You find yourself held accountable, not through punitive judgment, but through the gentle yet firm expectation of those who genuinely believe in your potential and are invested in your success. This external reinforcement solidifies your internal resolve, making it profoundly easier to stay true to your course, to resist the siren call of distraction and procrastination. The shared ambition creates a collective force, an echo chamber where doubt and fear are drowned out by encouragement, strategic thought, and unwavering support. When one member wavers, the others provide the necessary ballast. When one faces an insurmountable obstacle, the diverse perspectives within the mastermind coalesce, offering novel solutions that a single mind might never conceive. Do you now grasp the implication? Your discipline is no longer solely dependent on your fluctuating willpower. It becomes a constant, almost inevitable byproduct of this shared energy and purposeful collaboration. It is about leveraging external forces to solidify internal resolve, creating a virtuous cycle where giving and receiving support strengthens everyone involved, making individual commitment a natural extension of collective purpose. The mastermind, therefore, is not a crutch. It is a strategic amplifier of your inherent capabilities, transforming aspiration into an unstoppable momentum. However, even the most powerful momentum, even the most harmonious mastermind, requires precise direction. A ship, no matter how grand, needs a map. A collective of brilliant minds, no matter how synergistic, must possess a clear strategic plan. This introduces the profound importance of the organized planning grid, your daily strategic map for navigating the complex terrain between aspiration and achievement. As I have always emphasized, no man can become wealthy in any sense of the word without a definite plan for its attainment. This principle extends beyond monetary gain to encompass every form of achievement, every manifestation of your definite chief aim. This is not about compiling a generic to-do list. It is a meticulous, deeply intentional breakdown of your chief aim into daily, actionable, measurable steps, each imbued with the purpose and emotion of your ultimate goal. Each small task, each seemingly insignificant action on your daily grid is a miniature manifestation of the larger objective. It is a vital gear in the grand machinery of your success. Here is the Hill twist. Your planning is not merely chronological, it is psychological. When you approach a task, you do not just check a box. You infuse that action with the profound understanding that it is a direct, indispensable step towards achieving your definite chief aim. You feel, with deliberate intensity, the success this action brings even before its completion. Imagine a complex machine where each small gear, though seemingly insignificant in isolation, is absolutely vital for the entire engine to function, to hum with efficiency, and to produce the desired output. Your daily tasks are those gears. They must be precisely placed, correctly engaged, and executed with the full understanding of their contribution to the grand design. When every task, however small, is consciously linked to your overarching purpose, it ceases to be a burden and becomes a purposeful contribution to your self-engineered destiny. This strategic alignment reduces internal resistance and cultivates an almost automatic adherence to your schedule. To anchor this strategic planning into your daily routine, consider the power of the first 90 minutes rule. The first moments of your day are sacred. They are often when your mental energies are at their peak, unburdened by the accumulation of distractions and decisions that the day inevitably brings. Dedicate this invaluable period, without compromise, to the single most crucial task that directly advances your definite chief aim. Do not allow emails, notifications, or minor administrative tasks to invade this strategic window. This is not merely about productivity, it is about leveraging your peak cognitive state to achieve a decisive early victory. By conquering your most significant challenge first, you set an undeniable tone for the rest of your day. This initial act of focused, purposeful execution builds immediate momentum, reinforces your discipline, and provides a powerful psychological boost that carries through subsequent tasks. It is an embodiment of decisive action, transforming vague intentions into concrete achievements before the world has even fully awakened. This strategic front-loading of your day, guided by your organized planning grid, ensures that you are consistently making tangible progress toward your profound objective, reducing the internal struggle of discipline and replacing it with the profound satisfaction of purposeful creation. You have diligently forged your chief aim, programmed your inner commander through auto-suggestion, and amplified your efforts within the synergistic current of a master mind. You have meticulously charted your course on the organized planning grid. These are indeed powerful tools, foundational to any significant achievement. Yet the journey to any grand ambition is rarely a smooth, uninterrupted ascent. There will be inevitable trials, unexpected reversals, moments when the sheer weight of opposition threatens to extinguish even the most fervent desire. In these crucibles of doubt and difficulty, your resolve will be tested, and mere logic or external support may prove insufficient. It is in these moments that an even deeper, more profound force must be cultivated and applied. That of applied faith, the unbreakable shield against doubt, the inner conviction that transforms the seemingly impossible into a strategic inevitability. Consider the nature of faith, not as a blind, unthinking belief in the unknowable, but as a state of mind, a powerful mental attitude that can be deliberately induced and sustained. I taught that faith is, in essence, the permanent appropriation of an idea by the subconscious mind, a profound conviction born not from external evidence but from internal programming and unwavering intent. When challenges inevitably arise, and they will arise, when obstacles loom large, threatening to obscure your carefully charted course, when the voices of skepticism, both internal and external, begin to whisper their insidious doubts, it is this cultivated state of applied faith that acts as your impervious shield. It is the unwavering belief in the possibility of success, even when all current external data screams otherwise, even when the path ahead seems utterly blocked and impenetrable. This is not naive optimism. It is a profound, unshakable conviction that your definite chief aim will be realized, not because you wish it, but because you have strategically engineered its attainment through consistent thought and systematic action. It is the spiritual and psychological bedrock upon which all sustained discipline must ultimately rest. Without this bedrock, the most elaborate plans, the most brilliant insights, the most fervent desires can crumble under the relentless assault of adversity. Think of it as a lighthouse standing firm amidst a raging storm. The waves crash against its base, the wind howls with furious intent. The darkness of the night is absolute, yet the light within the tower continues to pierce through the tempest, unwavering, constant, guiding ships to safety. Your definite chief aim is that guiding light, but it is your applied faith that powers its enduring beam, keeping it burning brightly when everything else seeks to extinguish it. This faith is not a gift bestowed upon a lucky few. It is a mental muscle, strengthened through consistent exercise. Each time you impress your chief aim upon your subconscious through autosuggestion, each time you visualize its successful completion, each time you deliberately banish a negative thought and replace it with a positive affirmation of your eventual triumph, you are strengthening this muscle of faith. This cultivated conviction creates an inner certainty that transforms the arduous nature of disciplined action into an almost effortless unfolding. It is the deep-seated knowledge that despite temporary defeat, despite external resistance, despite the perceived limitations of your current reality, the universe itself is conspiring to aid your determined progress. This profound assurance alleviates the burden of discipline, transforming it from a forced act into an expression of your deepest truth. It ensures that when doubt assails you, when fatigue sets in, when the immediate rewards seem distant, your inner conviction holds firm, making disciplined adherence to your plan not a choice, but an inevitable consequence of your unwavering belief. However, even the strongest shield of applied faith requires an unwavering hand to wield it effectively, a relentless spirit that refuses to yield under any circumstance. This is the domain of the persistence protocol, a strategic, unwavering commitment to no retreat, no surrender in the face of temporary defeat. Many mistakenly view setbacks as failures, as definitive proof that their efforts were misguided or their abilities insufficient. This interpretation is a poison to discipline, leading to capitulation and the abandonment of worthy goals. I have asserted that persistence is to the character of man what carbon is to steel. Reflect on the profound truth embedded within this analogy. Carbon transforms iron into steel, a material of vastly superior strength, resilience, and utility. Similarly, persistence, when fused with your character, transforms mere ambition into an indomitable force, an unyielding resolve that can withstand any pressure, overcome any obstacle, and ultimately carve out its desired reality from the very fabric of existence. Consider for a moment the very nature of achievement. Was any truly great endeavor ever realized without encountering myriad forms of resistance? The answer, unequivocally, is no. Every significant accomplishment in human history is a testament not just to an initial vision, but to an unyielding refusal to accept defeat as final. Therefore, you must systematically reframe your perception of setbacks. They are not failures. They are invaluable feedback loops, crucial data points in your grand experiment of achievement. Each obstacle encountered, each misstep taken, each temporary defeat suffered provides vital information about what does not work, thereby illuminating the path toward what will work. The disciplined individual does not break under resistance. They learn from it. They analyze the cause of the setback, adjust their plan, and renew their efforts with greater wisdom and a reinforced resolve. This is not merely about trying harder. It is about trying smarter, with an amplified determination born from the lessons learned in the crucible of adversity. To embed this persistence protocol deeply within your being, embrace the one more time mindset. This is a powerful yet deceptively simple mental trigger. When the temptation to quit is strongest, when fatigue clouds your judgment, when discouragement whispers its insidious promises of rest and ease, consciously commit to just one more time, one more effort, one more hour of work, one more call, one more revision, one more attempt. This seemingly small commitment acts as a psychological lever, often breaking the inertia of resignation and reigniting the flame of purpose. It bypasses the overwhelming thought of an entire difficult journey ahead and focuses your will on a manageable, immediate action. This deliberate act of pushing through that critical point of almost giving up not only advances your immediate task, but, far more importantly, builds profound mental resilience. Each time you choose one more time, you are reinforcing the neural pathways of persistence, strengthening your capacity to endure, to overcome, and ultimately to triumph. This consistent, deliberate choice to persist, fueled by your applied faith, transforms your discipline from a fragile aspiration into an unstoppable force, ensuring that your will, once forged, becomes truly unbreakable. You have journeyed with me through the profound mechanisms of true discipline, moving beyond the superficial understanding of mere willpower to grasp the strategic architecture of an unbreakable will. We began by dissecting the pervasive cycle of the almost, revealing how vague ambition and the energy-draining should-dos conspire to imprison potential in a state of perpetual indecision. You learned that the cornerstone of liberation is not simply wishing, but the precise formulation of a definite chief aim, a singular, emotionally charged purpose that acts as a magnetic north for your entire being. This profound clarity, I emphasized, is then fortified by the deliberate practice of auto-suggestion, programming your inner commander with positive, goal-aligned commands, systematically transforming your mental landscape from one of struggle to one of unwavering conviction. We then expanded our focus beyond the individual, exploring the transformative power of the mastermind principle, where the harmonious alliance of committed individuals amplifies collective energy, creating an echo chamber of excellence that makes individual discipline not a lonely battle, but a fortified collective endeavor. This collective momentum, however, requires precise navigation, leading us to the critical importance of the organized planning grid, your daily strategic map, ensuring that every action, no matter how small, is a deliberate, purposeful step toward your grand ambition, particularly highlighted by the strategic impact of the first 90 minutes rule. Finally, we delved into the profound necessity of applied faith, not as blind belief, but as a cultivated mental state, an impervious shield against doubt and adversity, empowering you to persist when all external evidence seems to contradict your purpose. This faith, when fused with the relentless persistence protocol and the simple yet powerful one more time mindset, transforms setbacks into mere feedback, forging your character into something as resilient and unyielding as steel. Understand this deeply. Discipline, when comprehended and applied through these timeless principles, is not a burden. It is the ultimate freedom. It is the liberation from indecision, from procrastination, from the tyranny of unfulfilled potential. It is the engine that transmutes invisible thoughts, amorphous desires, and grand aspirations into their tangible, undeniable equivalent in the physical world. Consider the lives of those I studied, those titans of industry and visionaries who shaped civilizations. Did they merely try hard? Or did they possess a profound, almost mystical understanding of how to engineer their own success, how to construct an inner and outer world where disciplined, purposeful action became the only logical and inevitable course? Napoleon Hill did not merely force himself to succeed. He systematically engineered his success, understanding that consistent action flows naturally from a meticulously designed mental and strategic framework. He mastered the architecture of his own will, and through it, the architecture of his destiny. This is the power available to you now. This is the profound truth that, once grasped, leaves no room for the old excuses, no justification for the lingering cycles of the almost. Your journey to unbreakable discipline, to that state of strategic inevitability, begins not tomorrow, not next week, but the very moment you commit, fully and unequivocally, to applying these principles. It begins with a single, decisive act of clarity. Therefore, I pose this question to you, not as a casual inquiry, but as a direct challenge, an imperative for your future. What precisely is your definite chief aim? What is that singular burning objective that, when achieved, will define your existence, fulfill your deepest purpose, and become the magnetic north of your being? Do not merely contemplate it. Write it down, in vivid detail, on paper. Read it aloud to yourself each morning and night, injecting it with emotion, feeling its truth as if it has already occurred. Internalize it until it becomes a part of your very essence, the silent commander of your every thought and action. Beyond internalizing it, I invite you to share a facet of your commitment. Leave a comment below outlining a first concrete step you will take toward realizing your definite chief aim, or perhaps the nature of the mastermind you intend to cultivate. Let us begin to build right here a collective mastermind, an echo chamber of disciplined achievers, supporting one another on this transformative path. This is not merely an exercise, it is the deliberate construction of your future. Like this video, if you resonate with these truths, subscribe for more transformative insights that empower you to master your destiny and commit with every fiber of your being to never settle for almost again. Your capacity for greatness is not a matter of luck or circumstance. It is a matter of applied principle, of unwavering resolve, of a will strategically forged and relentlessly directed. Forge your will. Build your empire. The time is now.